1611, I'm strapped. Dream team coming back with a slap. Hey, on the block where it's at. White cracks getting smacked. Who gon' read? I'm about to snap. This straight facts, my boy, no cap. Steps going up.
So you're from the tribe of Issachar.
Right.
Not a so-called Mexican, so we gotta start keeping God's laws. You know any God's laws? Give me Exodus 20 and verse 8, because we're gonna give you the sense of what God's laws are. That's what we're doing. Teaching our people how to keep God's laws and better our communities, better our families, better our sons, better our wives. That's what we all doing, because we all came out of this entrapped place of America, calling ourselves black, Hispanic, Mexican, Puerto Rican, because that's what we were taught over and over and over again. But the names have no power. The tribe of Judah and the tribe of Issachar, that gives us our power back. Because we own our nationality and we keep God's laws. Read that.
Exodus chapter 20 and verse 8. Remember the Sabbath day to keep it holy.
The Bible says remember the Sabbath day to keep it holy, because we're going to forget it. Just like every other thing we forgot that pertains to the Bible. You go to church, Owen?
I don't.
That's a good thing, not going to church, because church tells you go to church on Sunday. That is not the holy day. The Sabbath day is what? Read.
Remember the Sabbath day to keep it holy. 6 days shalt thou labor and do all thy work. But the 7th day is the Sabbath of the Lord thy God.
It says the 7th day of the week is the Sabbath of the Lord thy God. Which day is the 7th day of the week, so? Sunday? You got a phone on you?
Oh, yeah.
Check out your phone and look at your calendar. Tell me what day the 7th day is. Because we're not making stuff up. We study the Bible, we study history, we study technology, and we find out who we are. We read the Bible and make it plain. So check out your calendar, tell me what the 7th day is, so. Sunday. See the S on top?
Oh.
Sunday starts the week. So count 7 days from that. That gives you Saturday. Sábado.
Oh, see yes.
Sabbath. You understand? Read it again.
But the 7th day is the Sabbath of the Lord thy God. In it thou shalt not do any work. Thou, nor thy son, nor thy daughter, thy manservant, nor thy maidservant, nor thy cattle, nor thy stranger that is within thy gates.
So on the 7th day, which is Saturday, we don't do any work, right? So we don't work, our children don't work, nobody works. Imagine we get our holy land and nobody's working. Everybody's hanging out, right? We all gather together, but to keep God's laws. Give me Leviticus 23 and verse 2. Because another part to keeping the Sabbath day, it's not just us chilling because we don't have to work. God said there's other things we have to do to keep the Sabbath day. And that's part of our heritage. That's part of who you are. That's part of being from the tribe of Issachar. And you say you want to know who you are, but stuff comes with that. It's not a simple thing knowing who you are, right? It learns how to deal with your people. You learn how to keep certain holidays. You learn how to dress, right? Because everything we do is different from the world, because God says, don't be like the world. Be separate from that. Read that.
Leviticus chapter 23 and verse 2. Speak unto the children of Israel and say unto them, concerning the feast of the Lord, which ye shall proclaim to be holy convocations. Even these are my feasts.
So it says, speak unto the children of Israel about a holy convocation. You know what a holy convocation is, Owen? A holy convocation is a formal gathering. We gather on the Sabbath day. We all gather together and talk about God's laws and how we can better our community, how can we increase in faith, and how can we make better our children and our wives. That's what we come together and gather. But when we gather nowadays on Saturdays, what do you do?
Bring it out.
Nothing, right? We smoke weed, we get high, we watch basketball, play video games. All things not going to profit anybody, and leads to more and more confusion and more worship of other things that takes away from God. That's not going to help us, right? I see you got a little beard. Do you shave your beard?
Nah, not yet.
That's a good thing. So you're already keeping God's laws. You don't even know it. Give me Leviticus 21:5, because keeping God's laws is a simple thing. A lot of things we do on our daily life, we don't even know we're keeping God's laws. That beard is a mighty thing. It means it shows you are a man. When slavery, they made us shave our beard and call us boys. You understand that? But God says you have to have a beard on your face. Read that.
Leviticus chapter 21 and verse 5. They shall not make baldness upon their head, neither shall they shave off the corner of their beard.
So it says don't make baldness upon your head. Like that Cholo look, right? They shave their head off. They get tattoos on their heads. God says don't do that.
Right.
God says keep the hair on your head, because Christ had hair on his head.
Right.
And then it says, what? Read.
Neither shall they shave off the corner of their beard.
Neither shall they shave off the corner of your beard. I see you got a little bit here going, right? Don't shave that off, because it's going to grow mightier and mightier and stronger and stronger. All the men up here have beards on their faces, because you can't call us boys. You're going to look at us as men, because we carry ourselves that way. That starts right there with that beard. You hear me, Saul? So there's also a dress code. The reason why we're wearing this is because God said we got to wear it. And there's a reason to wear these fringes. This is an important thing to God. This is part of your heritage as well, so read.
Numbers chapter 15, verse 38. Speak unto the children of Israel and bid them that they make them fringes in the borders of their garments throughout their generations.
So it says, bid them that they make them fringes in the border of their garments throughout their generations. That means it never stops. Same way we have these signs on us as curses, the same way you're supposed to wear these fringes throughout our generations. So my children are going to wear fringes, and their children are going to wear fringes, as long as they're keeping the laws of God, as long as they want to be chosen by God, as long as they want to know who they are and know their heritage according to this Bible. Read.
And that they put upon the fringe of the borders a ribbon of blue.
So it says a ribbon of blue. It can be dark blue, light blue, but it got to be a ribbon of blue. Ribbon of blue on the fringes, right? Read.
And it shall be unto you for a fringe, that ye may look upon it and remember all the commandments of the Lord.
And it's going to be on us for remembering the commandments of the Lord. We have a lot of fringes on these, right? We have a lot of fringes on this because we're going to remember the commandments of the Lord. If I look at a woman, I'm lusting after her, I have these fringes on to remind me that I can't do that. If I want to steal something, I have these fringes on me to remind me I can't do that. I got the brethren around me, they all have fringes on. If I see their fringes, it's going to remind me I can't do them things because I'm a chosen vessel of God.
Right.
I got to teach the right things according to the Bible. I can't come here and teach you these things if I'm doing wicked stuff myself. Right, so, and that's important to know who you are. That's important to standing up and being a man.
What is a nation?
Nation is family. Nation is community. Nation is men leading by example. Nation is women's support. Nation is children with role models.